Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Humpdazed. This is number 114, and as always, my wife, Crispy Wannabe's here beside me.
Cheers, everybody. Happy Hump Days.
Hope everyone's having a good one. I'll get the link up here directly. I think I can get it here. Been a long day, long week already, man. A lot of...
You mean the week's not over?
Oh, man.
Wait.
It's been a lot. Hey, cheers, Art, man. Sheldon.
Green 13, how you doing?
That's been a lot of work this week, man. It's got me wore out.
Life sometimes will try to show you what you're made of, and that's what's happening.
What's up, Art,
Cheers,
man?
Art, man. Good to see you.
Hey, guys. Uh-oh.
You still there?
Got an echo of some kind. Hang on.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
You sound great on our end. Here's Rocinante, Sky Overhead, Sheldon. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. We're about to smoke up some of this. Which one is this? Ghost Train Haze. I gotta say, it really stood the test of time.
Yeah, it has. We're down to our last
5 jars.
But they're all the big, great, beautiful buds, and I'm so excited because every time we open the jar, they're the biggest of the best.
It seems like the one that didn't hold up the best was the Nerk. Why is it not pinned in my link?
We'll get that link pinned here shortly, folks.
There we go.
There we go.
Artman's having problems with his radio or
his equipment. Maybe?
Yep, he's getting feedback. I saw something earlier that was on my mind. I thought about how cool it was, and it was something that the American one commented on. I noticed it was they found a mushroom that grows in Chernobyl, and it's cleaning up it said that it's like taking the radiation out of the ground, or it grows in radiation.
That's
and
awesome.
They had a name for it. But Tal brought up a great point. I was reading in the chat some of the comments, and I come across, like friends with someone, they put it up first. Tal came across with this comment, and he was like, hey, what do you do with it afterwards? And I was thinking, that's a good point. You can't eat it, obviously. You can't really compost it. It's going to be radioactive. But I was curious, I wonder if the act of photosynthesis or whatever is going on there kind of breaks it down quicker or something.
Very interesting point.
That was interesting. How are we sounding now, buddy? Do you hear us, Art, man?
I don't know what the hell's going on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You sound fine.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got multiple windows up here. I got you talking twice. It's weird. Anyway, I think I got it worked out.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. What are you toking on over there this evening?
My Flow OG.
Ooh, nice.
Same thing. I have a choice, so this is what I picked.
That's your that's the medicinal value. Isn't that what you like about the Flow?
Nope.
The medicinal. Is that not the one?
Direct. Nope.
Harlequin.
Oh, that's right.
All the strains.
Oh, it's going good, man. I got it all painted up, and I realized I don't like the light that I bought, so I got to take the light back and get a different light, for the ceiling. Everything's pretty good, though. I got to put up some curtains so people can't see in, and then we're ready to drag the tent in there and put some seeds in it. But seriously, man, I've been working 2 different jobs. I've tried, I'm leaving in the morning, not getting home until an hour ago, and some reason I haven't eaten much lately. I just feel wore out, run down, man. It gets like that sometimes.
Been there.
But you know how it is. In the winter, I'll have 10 days in a row with nothing to do and just sitting here thinking, damn, so it's like the farmer always say you got to make hay when you can, but I just feel wore out, man. But I don't like missing the shows. This is my getaway from all that,
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm tired, I force myself to come and hang out. I'm always
I made
happy.
a pot of coffee, so we should be good. We should be good. Hey, Jace, how are you doing today, buddy?
What's happening, guys?
Hey, Jace.
Hey, Ralston, I thought they said they found some that eat plastic. I'm assuming that was for mushrooms.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy. That's
Eat
cool.
plastic. Yeah. I saw them. They're they use them fish nets, man, and they scoop up a bunch of fish all at one time. They're using that on the great plastic floating island thing that's out in the ocean. And they took out this blew me away. It was their 105th load taking it out. It was the big building, man.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
It is. But they're doing something about it. I give those people credit, man. That's crazy. There was crates and all kind of. There was like plastic crates, that we use like every day. Those were in there, all kind of shit. I heard.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about. I saw an article about mushrooms, man, cleaning up. They were growing at Chernobyl, where all that nuclear shit is. And I saw the American one commented, like, that's cool that things are growing, but what do you do with it? Like, it's gonna, if you think about it, it's radioactive. It's gonna grow, die, put that radioactiveness back in the ground. So I'm assuming, or I shouldn't assume, but I'm just curious: is it like making it break down the radioactivity quicker? Is it just they're amazed that things actually grow in it, or what's going on? And then we were talking about. They said they found some that eat plastic, and I also know that I also know that cannabis is made to pull up heavy metals. Like I think hemp, maybe more so.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
I'm looking it up now, and they say Chernobyl, the half-life is 433 years for that radiation.
I see. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's amazing.
That's a long.
They said there was three.
Some three-eyed fish.
Yeah.
They said there was 3 dudes, man, that had to dive in the water and go down and shut off this valve, and they're like, stop.
Uh-oh. He hit the wrong button. Well, that's no good. Come on, Samat. What the hell are you doing? You still with us, okay? Jace?
It's Art Man OK J's 20 show. Welcome, guys.
Welcome live from the land of Lincoln.
We've taken over the world.
That's right. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Jace?
Pinky in the brain right here. Zort.
I got cut clear off at the knees.
All right. I seen that, yeah.
We took over your show.
It's been happening all day, man. Like
our internet keeps cutting in and out. It's so weird.
Since I've been home, man, I got home, took a shower, was looking around the house here. It's already that's happened like 3 times. Because when I went to start the show, it said not available. And it had that big line through the.
No, it said you're offline, which I knew we weren't offline because our television is through the internet. And so I was able to be watching a show in the next room, and there was no internet in this room. And that doesn't make any sense to me. So,
anyhow, so these 3 guys, they told them, like, you're going to go down there and it's definitely going to kill you. And I think they died within like 2 days by the time they come back up. But they must, I guess, like what they did saved a lot of tragedy, and then they was able to cap it off and shit. So those 3 dudes were like heroes, man. They knew they wasn't coming back.
They sacrificed themselves for their city.
Yeah.
For everyone.
I seen a question earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and address it, man. It was somebody asking about Doc MJ. He's been preoccupied. I talked to Doc a lot. He's a friend of mine. He's been my mentor for a long time, and I'm lucky enough to have like a link to him. But I'll tell everybody he went through a divorce, and he told me, he's like, I'm not broadcasting it, but if someone asks you, you're free to tell them, So he went through a divorce, and he's obviously changing a lot of things around in his life right now and everything. So he's fine, doing well, and he's excited to move forward with his grows and stuff here shortly, I believe. So yeah, stay online and don't give up on the doc, man. He's still around. He's just going through some stuff.
I put a link to his Patreon. He has an Ask Dr. Coco show every week, and I think that he was telling us at the Ask Dr. Coco show not long ago that he may be starting some new seeds soon. So he'll be starting to grow. Maybe by the next time we talk to him, he'll be able to tell us he's got some seeds up.
Yeah, Doc's a righteous dude, man. He's always treated me good, and always took the time to explain stuff to me like 5 different times. And one thing I always liked about him is he never is a dude with an ulterior motive. He always is just upfront, man. He's not trying to. Everything he tells you is what he believes comes from the heart, what he learned, and he's just an all-around good dude. And I think he's very wise when it comes to being the science-based aspect of it. And always been a good dude. I like Doc. We'll have to get him on someday.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Some light talk.
Yeah, he's
wonder what the next light video is going to be. We can all take guesses, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody was asking in chat. A newer guy was come around and asked when he was going to do another video. So we'll see. I hope he gets back into the swing of things.
Yes.
He did the video about I call it the diode video. Maybe that is what it is, the diode video. It was really good explanation about how diodes actually produce light with semiconductors and how there's a valence band, and whenever an atom jumps from one band to the next, it releases energy, and that's where the light comes, and how they slowly degrade. And it was a lot, and it showed how red waves are more photosynthetically active. We can create red waves that are more photosynthetically active to a certain point, and with less electricity. So that's why we always switched to HPS whenever we was in flower. A lot of it was just because the red spectrum, you can get more light for the same electricity and flood them, and just things like that. It brought, when I watched that video, I'd love to be able to play it on here someday. It's a little bit long, and it really explains a lot about lighting that some people, you might not even really think you want to know it, but once you do, you're like, oh shit, that's pretty cool,
Yeah, that's how I got in touch with him, from watching his grow light reviews, and I just happened to find out he had a Patreon. I was on there for a while. I got off though, but if I do go the 2x4 route, that will be the light I get. Was the last one he reviewed, I believe, was the Mars Hydro FC 4000.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. The Forbidden Gap. That's it, Rocinante. I forgot about the Forbidden Gap. That's such a funny name for it. The Forbidden Gap. Why is everybody laughing when I say that?
Are you talking about your Planginas again?
Plangina, the Forbidden Gap. The Forbidden Gap is the jump between the one valence band to the another, and when you get in there, something happens. He really does a great job of explaining it. But when I read it in the thing, that's funny. Yeah,
that wasn't our explanation, by the way. Not my neighborhood.
Something that you might not know isn't good for your LED lights. And those diodes that you were talking about is sulfur. Yeah. Didn't know that until I watched that video. And, if you're doing sulfur dunks or you just happen to have it, keep it away from your diodes in your light.
Yeah, man. If you're spraying for bugs with something with sulfur in it, sulfur turns semiconductors into full conductors, I guess, or whatever. They're just conductors, I guess. They're not semi no more. And then it kind of burns them out and shit. But, I want to say, most lights, I believe, are rated for, they have an IPL rating. Is that what it is? Or something like that. It's a moisture rating. So most lights you'd be good with, but it ain't nothing I'd want to take a chance with at all, Hey, he's using that.
Yeah, I've been lucky not to have to spray sulfur. Yeah, we used to use that commercial Oh, that's some nasty stuff, dude. But that's probably about one of some of the best stuff you can use, though. You got bug problems.
Yeah. Seven says he's using the chilled light. Those are good lights, man.
Yeah, I heard good things about them. They're on the higher end of the price there, but but they're good lights though. I like the Mars Hydro. I mean, I think bang for the buck. I mean, of course, they're not as good as chilled, as far as quality and all that, but I think just bang for the buck, they're about the best out there. I mean, they're all pretty close, to be honest. Just from what I know. But
from what I understand about lighting, I agree with you. I think that you can. I don't know. A lot of people push back on that, but I think that like you can get a Medic Grow, 760 watts or whatever, and that'll pretty much light your 4x4 or 5x5 completely. And the cost per UML is like 31 cents. And the cost per UML on some of these other lights is $1.31 or $1. It's just crazy. They're like, they want $1,200 for a light you can easily light up. Now people tell you that the spectrum's different and this is different. I can't comment on that.
I guess it's kind of like if you got the money to buy the Corvette and zip around town, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, but sure. Then you'd be on that. You'd be.
If you got to drive the Honda, that's cool too.
You got to be touching some paper to load up on chilled lights, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like those photon techs like that. What's it? The XT1000. How much is that thing? Like $1,400 or something like that.
Holy crap! $1,400. Yeah.
Well, I think at GML they got even more expensive lights now. I think they got one for like $2,500. I have to look it up real quick.
Yeah, they got some expensive lights there.
I kind of work it this way. When Smart and I have wanted equipment, we just like work extra hard for it and save up for it.
That's
like
it.
If we want like the expensive lights, that's what we'll save up and or just any equipment, right?
I gotta say,
I see no shame in if you're rocking an expensive light, good for you.
Our very first light we bought was $1,000. Well, our very first LED we bought was $1,000, man. The Fluence light, and every light we've had since then has been given to us through Doc MJ's sponsorship program and shit. We had codes for them. We had to do I think it was 8 videos I had to make. I said, shit, I do that anyhow. I make videos all the time. I go online and talk to my friends for 2 hours straight while it's on. And they was like, oh, that counts, And so
we had so much fun doing some of those videos. You should check them out on the on this channel. Go check into the archives and see some of those early videos we did. They were fun.
Hey, I did that for 4 years and made $150, man, or something. It was pretty fun though. It wasn't about the money. We sold some lights and it was cool that some of our friends was buying a light. They saved 10%, instead of paying the full price. But the truth of the matter is there's 50 different codes you could use. It's just a matter of which friend did you want to get a $4.90 commission to, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things, but I did it for the light, man. I just kind of wanted to be involved in the whole thing, and see what it was about. And we got some good lights out of it, and I don't regret it at all.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun times with no regrets.
Yeah, $2,100. It's called the Tarantula Borg. That was ridiculous. I would never pay that much for a grill light.
Is that the one that expands? Is that the one that has the flexes or something?
I don't know. I'm just that power map one is crazy. Yeah, it's GML. They did have one because I got that 5x5 tent. They've got one. It's the Tarantula Tent Ultimate. The physical dimensions of that light are 5x5. So it's like one of the only lights I know of that is actually physically the size of a 5x5. Everything else is designed for 4x4, and you got to raise it up to get the spread on the coverage. You know what I mean? But it's 1,200.
A lot of people, I can't comment on the GML lights, man. It just would be a poor taste for me to do so because I have history with that dude. And I remember when GML didn't have his light company and he worked for HLG. And I remember going to podcasts and being on podcasts with him. And now I have friends that I consider friends and who I respect who work with him and have sponsorships with his lights and everything else. So for me to say here and say anything bad, I can't promote them because I don't appreciate the prices. And for other reasons, I don't think they're worth it. But I can't really, it'd just be in poor taste to say anymore. You know what I mean? But I don't think anybody shouldn't buy one. I think they'll grow great cannabis. It's just that I'll leave it at that. I think you can grow great cannabis with a medic grow just as well. And I think
it comes back to my earlier statement. If you want to get there in a Corvette, or do you want to? I mean, the other car is just as safe and just as reliable. So,
you know, I look at it this way: we're looking for a certain spectrum between this and that, between 380 and 750. I guess if you want to be exactly perfect, and I feel like if you're given usable light in that range, you're going to be covered. Just like the sun, you know, the sun doesn't crank up red in the middle of the day. It doesn't do a lot of things, you know, that people try to, and I think, you know, there's a lot to red light, you know, I like red light. I would even put red light in there, but it takes a lot more of a conversation to understand exactly why and when I would use it. You know, and I don't know. I like the Medic Grow lights. I like the Proton lights. The chilled lights are great. They're expensive. Fluence is a wonderful light. If you got vertical integration, you want to be 6 inches above your plant, buy a Fluence. It'll do great, but they're really expensive.
Yeah, I think those GMLs, I think they're the ones that you can adjust the spectrums on it. Like it has different settings on it.
Indeed, it does.
Which, that's just too much for me. Like I'm not that smart. I just need to plug it in and to a certain percentage. I can't mess with spectrums.
You know, I like that too. I like a simplicity of like turning on the light and that's it. I don't want to be pushing knobs and buttons and I'll screw it up. I just know. Ask Smart. He knows.
Well, you got to look at it this way, Jace. You can only supply your plant with 1,000 umils, you know, if you want to be in range, 1,000 umils every second, as long as all other parameters are in check. So that 1,000 umils has to fall into the electromagnetic wavelength of 380 to 750. And so when you spread it across the spectrum, you get a little bit of everything. So, all right, if you get a tunable spectrum, now this is where I start to get lost. What are you taking away from to add something else? You can't just keep adding extra lights to it. You're going to burn your plants and you'll get over that threshold of what your plants are capable of, unless you're running CO2, but eventually you're going to reach that threshold either way. So you have to take away from a spectrum to add to a spectrum. And when do you do that? What's the outcome? Is that juice worth the squeeze at the end of the grow versus my Medic grow for $2,100 versus $500? Now, I'm here to say I never grew with one, and I never grown with one, and I never had tunable spectrum. Maybe it is, but I can't. I can't.
Well, the thing of it is too, like you have to know what you're doing. I mean, unless it's like pre-programmed where you can just like follow a program that's built into it. You need to know the science behind like when to apply each spectrum. You know, like you were saying, kind of leading on to, you know, when are you adding more red, blue.
Yeah. And let's take that. There's actual people that have lighting companies out there that, like Fluence for one, I believe is owned by a lighting engineer and has like degrees in that. And that's not something that they're pushing. And I like following Fluence. They're pretty cutting edge, but I just don't think there's really a place for it. I think a lot of hype goes with that, and you can get gullibility in growers, and it seems to resonate. And what happens is you get authoritative figures in the community spreading misinformation that becomes taken as fact just because of who it comes from. And it all comes down to people losing lots of money for the same product they would get from a lot cheaper. Now, you could say that about me. I like to be unbiased here as much as I can. and taking motion out of it. I buy Canatrolls. People say, you don't need a Canatroll, bro. You just spent freaking $2,000 on a machine. And I do the same thing in my closet. And I tell them, well, that's you. You have it worked out perfect. And I'm a little bit envious of you. I had to buy my way out of it, you know? So I might be guilty of buying something that people don't think is worth it either. This is just one man's perspective on a little YouTube show that, you know, nobody really gives.
Well, yeah, like your Canatrol. I mean, I'm there right now. I just chopped a plant, so I'm drying one right now, and you know, that peace of mind. I mean, that's the most nerve-wracking part of the grow right there is the drying process. So that you're paying for peace of mind, if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, like going through a whole entire grow and watching it and loving it and putting, you know, the emotion that goes into it when you love what you do in the grow room. Y'all can relate to that, and then having it turn to garbage, and there's nothing you could have done.
We've all been there,
and it's such a kick in the nuts too.
I bet you there's not one person in the chat or on this panel that can say, well, at least if you've had, say, 10 harvests, that at least one of them didn't end up way less than what you had hoped because of whether drying, curing, strain, whatever. I really didn't know, but I knew it was coming down smelling like freaking fire because sticky as hell. We hang it up. We get, by the time we're done, it rained and it got wet.
Yeah, that was our big thing. It got really hot and rained. And
yeah,
and you know, being away from the house for 10 hours, that, you know, that was tough.
See, and there's different levels to this too. Most of my opinions, which is all they are, comes from the standpoint of a grower who's growing in a state that ain't even legal, you know? So I'm not growing on scale. It ain't like I'm growing. So maybe if, you know, I couldn't use the Canatrol if I had a big room. I'd have to figure something else out. I could, you know, they want like $60,000 for one that's like 12 by 12 that holds 150 pounds or something, you know? And I could never afford that. So a lot of this it's scalability, I think they call it. It doesn't scale up or scale down. Like if you're a small grower like us, you can get a Canatrol or two and you're good. But if you're growing, you know, like some of these people that come on here and they have a lot of plants, that's not their answer. They got to go a different route. Or if you're growing you know, and you need different lights for your big ass grow room.
Well, I'll tell you what, like with a Canatrol, like in my situation, that would be really beneficial because I've got my dry tent in the same room as my grow tent, so I'm having to run the air conditioner right now, and that's kind of throwing my climate off a little bit in my main tent, and I really don't have the option to move that dry tent to another room because all my other rooms in the house are spoken for, so moving the weed tent, there's really not an option. So I could have that Canatrol plugged in like in my bedroom if I wanted to, you know what I mean, and have it drying in there and not messing with my main grow tent.
Yep. And Jace, you could get by. Well, I shouldn't say get by. That's not the word I should use. It's less expensive to get the Myers Now dryer, and a lot of people swear by them, man. Like I think Genetic Memory Farms there in the chat. Cheers, Genetic. Just recommended that. I have no problems telling people I smoked out of one of those, and it was fire.
Fire, exactly. So right there, and I think people have done side by sides with them, and good. I hear nothing but good things about the Scott Myers Now.
I need more than one though. That's my thing. Of any of them when I harvest.
Yeah.
You can add trays to those things too, so you can like take one machine and then just get the add-on stuff.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. They're $200 for one. Does that? I guess it has its own climate control built into it. I don't know how those work. I've never really seen them before. I think Seed Person had one.
It doesn't
cool.
Yeah, Seed Person loves it, yeah, but it doesn't cool. It isn't.
So
like,
you still have to.
It's not the Canatrol, that's for sure. But
so you still have to supply cooling to the room that it's in, then.
Yeah, I guess you would. Yeah.
Well, I think it gets up to like 100 degrees. It gets really warm, dude. Well, maybe not 100. It gets like 80 or 90 degrees in that thing. It's pretty wild. It sounds crazy, but I smoked out of. I know a lot of people that use them, and I'm thinking there's no way all these people are saying good things about it if it isn't true. You know what I mean?
Well, You think all the terps would evaporate, right? But
you would think, but
apparently not the case. So, and I trust Seed Person, so there you go.
Yeah, no, it had some, but they were asking how much the Cantrell holds. It's like
2.2 pounds of wet.
2.2 pounds of wet. So if you want to jam some more in there, you can actually hang it for a day, like in a tent or something, and then put it in there. But then you ain't got to mess with it. It'll dry it, cure it, and long-term store it. And it don't matter if it's
2 pounds wet is a quarter pound dry, correct?
Yeah, it's
three quarters roughly.
Yeah.
And that's their Cantrell gives you a pro tip, and that is to like hang it for a 24-hour period before you stick it in there. So to get more in there.
And I hate to say it, but
realize that.
If you look at my videos, I have them stacked, man. It comes with 6 trays, and they were like, "Don't overload it." And I did, and it turned out fine, man. But I don't know where
I think we got lucky.
I don't know where that limit is. You know what I mean? I don't know where the limit is on but
because we're not weighing it out. We're just chucking them in there. We're not like getting any weights.
Yeah, who's weighing wet buds?
So
I haven't weighed buds in a long time, man. I don't. I just take them, put them in a jar, and then the jar comes into the room for smoke down sessions. You know,
who cares anymore, right? Unless you're like, I do it if I'm squishing, so I know how much rosin, the percentage once in a while, or something like that.
That's smart. Yeah. Well, if I wanted to see,
if you're doing edibles, that would be real smart to pay attention to how much it weighs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. All right, Jay.
That's beautiful.
Holy.
And which ones are those?
This is the Jack Herrera. That's the only one I chopped down so far.
Cool.
Got the humidifier in the fan over there. I put the bigger buds away from it. I got the smaller little satellite ones over here.
Did you say humidifier?
Yeah.
Are you that dry in your room there? Wow. Well, that's
cool. Not for the most part, but it's there for just in case, basically. That the climate's kind of back and forth. It's crazy here in Oklahoma. It goes hot, dry, wet. It's all over the place. But it's been holding pretty tight. The temp humidity, I've been right in that 60 to 62% humidity and around 65 temperature. For the most part, it'll fluctuate a little bit. Yeah, it'll fluctuate a little bit, but average is pretty good.
Those are chunky, bro.
That's a beautiful sight.
This one came out pretty good. I hope it dries good so I can start trimming and smoking. I think I'm actually going to trim these myself this time. I might regret that. But at least I'm doing one plant at a time, so maybe I won't get burned out on it versus doing all the plants, doing 2 or 3 pounds at one time.
I agree with Penny Pebble Rippers. More needs to be done with the dry and cure. More research, more study to find out exactly what's going on. Because I don't have a good understanding in my mind of what's going on with my buds from the time I harvest until the time I feel that it's good, freaking ready to roll smoke. You know what I mean? I know it changes a lot, but I'm not sure what's going on. I know things are breaking down. There's enzymes. I know metabolites, second metabolites are coming on as things oxidize, but that's just a lot of gibberish, really, to me. Until I get a picture in my head, I get kind of like, you know.
We call that cannababble.
Did the trellis net with the binder clips.
That's a smart move, man. Keeps them all separated so they ain't really laying up on each other.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to touch them. I didn't have those satellites in there. I could have had one more plant in there. That's pretty much, this side here is my main colas. And then these are just the offshoots, the smaller stuff, which I would have trimmed those off if those other 2 plants would have made it. I lost one as a seed, and then the strawberry cough, that was a tragedy on its own. But these will still be some good buds. I mean, even small ones, keep them, you got a purpose for them.
Hey, I bet if I could see your face right now, you're smiling like a butcher's dog with pride, man, and rightfully so. I've been watching
straight.
I've been watching this grow we all have, from the very little seedlings all the way to watching them hang right here. And it never gets old. As many times as we see people grow them and harvest them, I love it, man. That's a successful grow by anybody's measure. And you got a lot more coming down.
Yeah, I've got.
Oh my!
I just checked those. I got the. Yeah, it's like raising your kids, and you're just proud of them. But I got two. I've got three more plants there, obviously, but I think two of them, the Blue Dream and Acapulco, they probably got at least 2 weeks left. I just checked trichomes yesterday, and they're still pretty clear. Starting to get a little milky, but I can definitely tell it's probably going to be closer to 2 weeks before they're ready, which is good because then these will be out of this tent. Yeah. And I don't know if I could put 2 plants in here, though, especially those Blue Dreams. Those things are pretty fat.
Yeah, they're chunk.
But I'll find a way. If anything, I'm hoping all three of them in that tent will finish at least close enough at the same time, and I could just use my main tent to finish my drying in there.
So let me ask you, at the same time. That's all you got to do. Remember that.
So that's motivation for me to monocrop. I mean, it's tricky, man, cutting, having different finishing times on these strains, especially with my setup. If I didn't have this tent, I'd really be screwed right now.
This is what makes you a prolific home grower, man. Timing, working these problems out, getting all them different strains. That's what it is, man. I love it. Those different strains I couldn't just smoke the same shit all the time. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I don't mind fighting it, because I like the reward from it. I don't mind putting more effort into it and having a little more inconvenience. I love that variety. I hate smoking the same shit over and over and over again. I'm pretty much down to Banana Kush now. I've got like a little bit of Pineapple Express left, so it's getting kind of depressing smoking the same shit. Even if it's good stuff, you just get tired of it. You get burned out on it. You want something different.
And this is real life growing right here. A guy with a construction job or, like a daily job. He's got a family. He's trying to grow in his house, keep his wife happy, all this. And you finding a way to do it very successfully. I think your plants show the power of proper lighting, cocoa core as a growing substrate with auto fertigation. And I think your return on high frequency fertility, and your return on investment and your yield per micromole of lighting, your grams per micromole will all be very favorable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I noticed a huge difference on that last grill. I mean, this thing is freaking stacked. I mean, it's on Instagram. It was almost 2 foot top to bottom. That last grill I had, I was getting like maybe 8 inches on my canopy. Of course, I had a wider canopy there.
Your last grow looked very impressive as well.
It did. It was full.
Yeah. It was, that was the thing. Like, it was more full, I filled up that whole thing, the edge, in the window of the wall, right? Yeah. They just had buds everywhere. But, yeah, these had the depth on it. I like this better, though, because honestly, like, these buds are just, the size and the structure is so much better than the last one, just all the way down, the top. So my last one, that was mainly just the tops that were big. And then it really tapered down as it went down. These are pretty uniform most of the way up,
Yeah. And there's not a big gap in between. It's filled in pretty nice. Those are great, man. I think they're going to harvest up pretty chunky.
Can't wait to get to smoking on them.
Some Sensimilia hanging there for you, bro. Good meds.
Oh, they smell good, too. They smell so good.
And them other ones are they're marathoners. How many weeks you in now? You're close to 10, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm coming up on 10 from Flip. 10 from Flip. So they probably got at least another, like I said, 2 weeks. So yeah, it'll be about 2 weeks, 2 3. Yeah, probably about 2 weeks. So 12 weeks from Flip, and then probably probably about 10 to 11 weeks from Pistol, which is what they said, the breeder says, for the flowering time on that.
somebody was asking last week about, or maybe it was last show, if you think that the flowering times are going to be this close to what the breeder had, claimed, I guess. So I'm going to try to remember that and see if they come true, because you seem to know what they're claiming on all of those strains.
Yeah, it was. I wrote it down somewhere, but I mean that's pretty close. I'll get it right here. Yeah, so the Blue Dream, they said 9 to 11 weeks. Acapulco 9 to 10 weeks. The Laughing Buddha is supposed to be 10 to 11 weeks. So that's supposed to be my longest flowering strain there. So I'm hoping, like I said, they all finish at the same time and I can just use my main tent, because see, that's my problem now. That's another reason I was wanting to kind of downsize, because I'm at the point where I either need a smaller main tent because of my power consumption, or I need to upgrade my electrical because I can't run my light at 100%. I was tripping the breaker, so I've got it down to 70% now. But fortunately, this jack was the tallest in there by far, so I was able to lower my light to help compensate for having to dim my light. So I checked it, and I'm still getting right at 1,000 ppfd at the top canopy level, even at 70%, because I'm only about 8 inches from the bud or the top of the canopy from the light. So I don't think it'll hurt my yield any. But I would still like to preferably run them, 100% the whole way through and still be able to dry. So I've got some rethinking to do. Like I said, I'm really tempted to downsize to a 2x4 because, yeah, I'm going to lose a lot of growth space. And I like my setup now, but honestly, like I'm getting way too much than what I need now. And if I had a 2x4, I could harvest more frequently. I could do, I would probably only run 4 plants at most, and a 1 gallons and a 2x4. I would like to run 6 because that's the maximum I'm allowed to run here in any given time, because I just like as much variety as I can get. But six for me is too much in a 2x4. I know some people will do that or even more, but that's just, I don't know. I don't want to grow that many plants in that small space.
I dig it. Penny Pebble Rippers. That was Jace's zipper. I always tell.
I always remember
big zipper.
Yeah, I always tell the guys that. Yeah,
same sound.
But I'll tell you one thing, man. That Mars Hydro tent feels flimsy as hell compared to that Gorilla. Like it's a night and day difference on quality on that. Like it feels like it's a thin sheet of paper versus a heavy duty tarp on that Gorilla. So if I do one tent on that 2x4, I would definitely go back to the Gorilla. I just like the quality they got on that. But that Mars Hydro is like a fraction of the price of that too. I think I paid $80 for it versus if you get the Pro line on the Gorilla, the 2x4, it's I want to say $225 or $250, so it's like triple the cost. But those are the taller tents too. They can go up to 9 foot tall.
Hey, we have this Mars tent, this little 2x2, and the zipper, the fabric, everything about it seems much better. Not just because it's new and crispy, fresh, but everything about the build, even the zipper strength and shit, seems way better than our AC Infinity tents, which we got $200 for 2 of them.
Yeah, 4x4s. Cheap. They were really, really
They
cheap.
don't have the little flap over top of the zipper like the Mars. There's like a flap over the zipper, and it's
don't get me wrong. I'm not trashing the Mars. I mean, I would definitely, like, I would throw a light in it right now if I had one and rock it. It's a good tent, but just like comparing it to that Gorilla, that was what I'm saying. You definitely notice the difference in quality.
Yeah,
you got the Cadillac of all tents with the Gorilla. The Mars is a good tent, but you don't have the shitty ass AC Infinity ones, or you'd really be like, damn, how I'm gonna look.
Yeah, I had that on my first throw. It was a 4x8, and I don't know. I just didn't get a chance to use it enough to really. It seemed okay. I mean, I would kind of put it on par with the Mars as far as like quality, but Yeah, I just didn't use it. I'll tell you one thing I did not like about that AC Infinity being a 4x8 was the access points. Because the front door came open, but it had like 2 side windows on the side and on the back. So that's why I love that Gorilla, man. That thing opens up to a 180, so you got full access to all 3 sides of it. So it's almost like you're growing in a room, versus a tent.
Right. I think it was the stability comes from the extra top too, because I know like with our AC Infinity tent, it'll open up like yours, but you're pretty much just disassembling it at that point. You know what I mean? When you get 3 sides open, it's flimsy.
Yeah, it's very flimsy.
I noticed that a little bit with a Gorilla, but it's not that bad. I mean, I wouldn't do a pull up on it with all 3 sides opened up, but it's still pretty stable.
Because you have a lot of tent material above on the top. With our tents, there's like 2 inches wrapped around the top when you're unzipped. You have like a foot up there, and that still is like a big bear hug at the top of it, giving it stability, man. That's a good tent for a reason. Probably have really good bars with metal corners, metal everything.
Yeah, they've got the regular Gorilla 2x4. I think it's 150, but it doesn't have the 1 foot extension, and it just has a standard one zipper kind of door like the Mars does, versus like I think the Pro Series has the double doors on it that opens all the way out, which I don't know. I mean, little things like that are nicer, and I'm usually like a kind of go big or go home kind of guy to an extent. I mean, I have my limitations, you know what I mean?
Hey, like I tell the dudes at work, if I want any lip off of you, I'll get it off my zipper.
Oh my goodness!
So you guys are welcome to use that when you go to work tomorrow.
I've never.
Just make sure you zip responsibly, man. You don't want Frankenbeans.
Somebody nailed me that one day when I was when I wore a younger man's clothes, and it stuck with me because that was a good burn. Man, I was like, okay, I'm back in that one.
I will say about our AC Infinity tent, it was the right price, and we've grown a lot of weed in it. But I wish it had better access, like even little access windows. I know some of the tents now, they have those. That's the one regret. Otherwise, we realize now that we should have done 2x4 from the beginning.
Yep. It's one.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about this Mars Hydro. This 2x4, the front window, the whole thing comes off, but there's no plastic film behind it, so it's straight mesh going into. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Like the grill I've got, it has the plastic behind it for like a view, so you still have your environment sealed, but you can still view into it.
Artman's thinking, what the hell these guys got? We're suffering over here compared to his.
Yeah, Art's got a whole room and a mini split and a DU and all that good stuff.
He's got Tom Petty singing "It's Good to Be King" in his head because he doesn't have to worry about these kind of problems.
Zippers? You mean hinges on the door, right? You got to seal.
Hey, 71.6 degrees right now, my friend.
Sweet.
Hey, I would like to try something with my. I'd like to try something with my phone. I want to see if I can actually come in here and. Carry on.
Experiment. He got the he'll have a lawn chair sitting down there in his grow tent, just chilling because it's perfect humidity, perfect temperature.
Yeah.
Leather.
Fresh air.
Okay, let's see if I can do that.
We got 2 Artmans. I see you looking at me, looking at you.
That's cool.
Ooh, right. Double the art, double the fun.
I can walk around.
Man. This is awesome.
That is a bam lamp. Wait, let me turn my phone on. There we go. That one is Bambalam. That's a flow that I'm just going to clone that. I'm not even going to flower that for a long time, but I want to keep it. This one here is Lemon Hooli. It's he is known for his grape and strawberry, but this is a lemon, so I figured I'd try that. I sent off a sex test yesterday, and this one here is a Dean Bean. It's a. Oh, let me get my paper here. It is black cherry garlic crossed with chopped cherry. So that's cool. So
oh, that chopped cherry, man. We saw that in XYZ's tent. Frosty as hell.
Everybody's talking and raving about that plant right there, Art, man. A lot of people are getting ready to drop seeds. That Dean's making some fire, I've heard. And the same with Holy over there, man. You got some Holy beat. Oh, cut off.
Well, he's
still here. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the one. That was cool to see that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So now I can take it into my Sunday. I'll take it into the other room, and the Bambalam in there is doing really good. Puffy's doing fantastic.
Oh, I saw your post on Instagram, man. Awesome. Doing freaking awesome.
Puffy's is doing really good. Those buds the colas are just massive. So, and I'm really lucky. I got the mini split in now, and a new. My dehumidifier died as well, so I had to get a new one of them. So I got the biggest one at Lowe's or Menards, but I'm glad I got them because those colas are going to be so fat they would be at risk for botrytis, I'm sure. But I think it'll be okay now. I'm happy.
I'm glad, Art, man. You got all the equipment new now. I mean, I know it sucks to hit your wallet all at one time. It seemed like, and you didn't dick around, man. You want all for it. So I think you're set for.
Well, it's taken me many years to get all this stuff together. So I've got I can't think of anything that I really need right now. I mean, I got the Medico Light earlier this year, and that's working out real good.
Yeah.
Nice. So it's just kick back and enjoy the return on investments there.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I could do it in case, physically, you never know. I might not be able to do, well, you know how it is. So you never know. So I want to have everything in place so I can just coast if I can. So,
man.
I like it better. No foxtails. I'll tell you that right now for Sunday. Oh, by the way, I plan on giving away some beans on Sunday, some seeds. I got some OC growers.
Yeah, I've seen that. You also, Uncle Rick's show.
You're a seed sponsor over at Uncle Rick. That's congratulations on that. That's pretty awesome.
That's right. That's right. I'll just read them out because that's going to be later tonight. We're going to give these away later tonight on Uncle Rick's show or Let's Be Buds. So, but I'm going to have these next Sunday on your show too. It's a couple of the older ones from OC Grower 76. I've given away lots of the rainbow butter, but he sent me some more of those. And this one, I did not name this, okay? It's Max as fuck, okay? And it's bred from Gas as fuck, crossed with peanut butter belts. So that's another one of his older ones. So, but his newer one is called Zushi Banger. And that's blue Zushi crossed with TMZ. Oh, what the hell is that? Too much Zushi. That's crossed with lime. I don't know these names, but he sent me a bunch of these vials of those. So we'll be giving them away tonight on Let's Be Buds and next Sunday on your show. So, and I got another.
That is awesome.
I got one more for your show. I only got a few of these. It was called Chem Secret. It's Chem Brand crossed with Secret Project. And I'm not familiar with either of them, but I'll be bringing those too. So everybody, come on by.
Hey, those are fun ones to win, man, because you really know it's in there, I guess. But it's you kind of got to. I know where it's coming. If it's coming from OC Grower, he really cares, man. And he's doing some work and making it nice.
Well, keep in mind, he breeds all of his stuff for hash rosin. So he's going for maximum trichomes, and he says this Zushi has really got him excited, and that makes me really excited too. Zushi Banger, so it should be pretty cool because even though it's for rosin, it rolls up in a doobie just fine.
He's out in Orange County, man, and it seems like they have access to everything first, and he was getting seeds from Capulator directly from him because everybody seems to end up over in Orange County, California.
Orange County.
Yeah, man, and but cheers to OC.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to grow his black lime cross.
Yeah.
and it was so frosty.
It was fire.
It was one of the first to be
like lime. Was it?
It
lime?
was. It was a long. It was like
black
3 different
lime
things.
crossed with
She has it.
no.
What did it taste like? Lime.
Did it taste like lime? I don't think it tasted like lime at all, man.
Okay. Because this stuff, the new Uzushi, is supposed to have a lot of lime in it. And
I didn't get a lot of lime.
I never had one.
You know what I did get out was some Thunder Dan seeds. For those are he sent us some fem seeds, you know, that
Black
he made.
Widow cross.
The Black Widow cross.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that was White Widow. I was laughing. I'm reading the strains off to my wife so she can tag everything properly with tape and everything. And I'm like, this and this, and everything's Black Widow, Black Widow. I'm just like, White Widow. She's like, you mean crossed with Black Widow? I said, nope, it just says White Widow. I was like, I don't know why I threw it in there. It's not crossed in anything, but we'll take it, man. I'm excited. I've seen Thunder Dan's, the Thunderdome down there in full bloom many times. And I kind of want to get in on that game, you know, but I'll say this, it was hard to pick who we wanted to grow, but he took the cake because he sent feminized, and we kind of we need something we know is going to go our first grow back. I need some smoke quick. I don't want to sex test and not have as many as I want. You guys get it. I don't have to walk you through it. So we were like, what kind of fems do we have? And Thunder Dan came up, and we also got some seeds out that were feminized that my wife won on Grow Room 420's show. And so shout out to folks at Grow Room 420. I know there's some
seed stalker seeds. I'm excited about some of those. We're doing that in Thunder Dan. It's going to be an awesome run.
Hold the freaking phones. Thunder Dan might have sent us a list with an error because he's saying right there in the chat
the White Widow is
crossed with the Black Widow. Oh, it didn't say White Widow cross Black Widow.
But now we'll know they're all Black Widow crosses, which is
okay.
I kind of was curious about that one.
I thought he was just being like, here's the total opposite. But yeah, we're looking forward to those. And I can't remember which ones we got out. One was a grapple.
Yeah, grapple fritter, and
I think you picked one. I couldn't remember.
It
was hard to pick, man.
Yeah, he sent me some of those too. I got so many seeds. My schedule goes out for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, I went from a seed shortage when I first got on here to a seed surplus. I've got so many of them now, and that's just in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I got so many. I'm giving them away. Oh yeah, I got.
What's coming is Goth Girl too. We got Seed Person bringing up that Goth Girl right around the corner. She's looking so beautiful.
There's another one. Yeah, there's another one. Nice.
Yeah, Thunder Dan sent some big bigger packs, man.
Yeah. I use some STS. I'm feminizing Flow OG, and that's going real well. I have a lot of male flowers on the plant, so that's way in the back. Maybe Sunday I'll go back in there and show you what it is.
That looks so cool too.
Yeah, Seed Person just hooked me up. He just sent me some more seeds today, so I'm getting some of that purple panty dropper and Gelato 41, and then he had some other strains in there too. Like one of them's a watermelon strain. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, man, he's hooking it up.
Very good. He's a very generous person. He sent me a lot of seeds. We've gone back and forth, you know.
Yeah, cool dude for sure.
Someone told me a long time ago, acquiring seeds and growing them are two different hobbies. I think it's come to fruition too.
Oh, I have a problem. Yeah, it's 12 step, I'm sure. Maybe more.
Oh my, that's funny.
I think it's the people we surround ourselves with. There are a lot of like-minded individuals who are very generous with their time, money, efforts.
Oh, indeed.
And a lot of times that's what it is. It comes from the heart. They've smoked something and they've loved it so much that they kind of want to, you know how it is, one of those things you want to scream off the rooftops. Like,
you want to share,
yeah, check this out. You got to try. So people just have all this passion coming from every different direction. And then it ends up with all these seeds. And when you've been around for a little while, you kind of realize what seeds you want to grow based on the gardens you've seen this person produce year after year, you know? Like Seed Person, Kyle, Mr. Greenfingers, all the people that come on here and give seeds and donate seeds and sell seeds. And it's pretty cool to support that.
I like sharing. I haven't read them, but I sure do share a lot.
And somebody said on the show,
you doing your part to overgrow the planet, and that's pretty remarkable. That's freaking awesome, right? We need to overgrow the planet.
That's it.
Hey, a lot of generous breeders here, so it's not me, it's them.
Kitty's trying to jump on top of the
Oh, she's being so bad. I'm gonna try to.
Did you see what's under my name, by the way? It says poker aficionado.
Oh, nice.
I was playing with Rick on Let's Be Buds on Poker Stars last week. That must have carried over to this one.
Yeah,
I was being a smart ass, you know.
Oh, we thought you were cleaning house.
No, actually, I lost. I was in first place for quite a while, but somebody nuked me. Within 5 or 6 hands, I was wiped out.
Isn't that how it goes, man?
It's fun.
Sometimes when someone goes on tilt, man, they just get the cards at the same time, and it can really hurt you, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I got lots of chips, so I used to play there a lot. I got over 1 million, so it don't matter. It's fun. Yes, sir, Tao. There are a lot of great people on here.
Smart, you're the poker player too, right? I mean, it's in your name.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't play poker nowhere near as much as I used to. But, yeah, I used to play a lot of – I was in prison for a long time, man. That's what I used to do is play poker at the poker table. I had my own poker table for a while. I actually came home with thousands of dollars from jail from poker. I had boxes of cigarettes, man. You know, that's what you use for currency. I don't think you can have cigarettes anymore. This was in the early 2000s, you know. And that's what I spent my days. If I wasn't running track, I used to run half marathons, whole marathons when I was in there, and I would be at the poker table, man. That's why I always say, money on the wood, son. You got to have it to play, right? You get there's nobody gets front at the poker table, right?
What's your game?
Texas Hold'em, man. Nothing wild but the dealer, right?
That's right.
I played a lot.
What's that one? That's Omaha. Omaha's like Hold'em, but you get was it 3s and 9s are wild, and you get 4 down.
Oh, well, yeah, Omaha is 4. Yeah,
8 wild cards. Yeah, that's craziness there. You have royal flushes all over the place.
Yeah, honestly, I won't play poker with wild cards, man. It's got to be straight up poker. You really can't use any sort of strategy whenever you put that many wild cards in. It becomes way more luck of the draw.
It's a free for all.
Yeah, because you can't really tell how many high cards are out and all that shit, you know, how many people's at the table.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of cameras in my grow rooms now, so I'll show you them next week.
That's cool.
We nerded them out. They're pretty cool.
I put Artman's link in the chat. You can go over and check out what he's doing to that by spraying that plant. You have a lot of cool pictures on Instagram about that too. And yeah, your camera setup's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I ordered 2 more for outside for security purposes. So that's they're interesting. Shit, they were only $20 a piece. They got motion detectors. They're infrared. They hook up through my Wi-Fi. It's pretty cool.
That is cool, dude. There's no doubt about it.
Plus, I can just look at my plants just doing this little thing. The wind is blowing them, you know. It's an obsessive compulsive thing, you know.
And you're pretty well versed in the computers, Art, man. You do pretty good.
I do okay if I struggle and somebody talks to me from customer support. Because as soon as I had to have my modem split for the new security cameras, that disabled all my pulse monitors and my my mini split app. So I had to call the company to rehook up my mini split app, but I did do the pulse monitors on my own. So yeah, I'm halfway there.
And you would think that should be easy, like those things should be easy to do, but it's really not.
It is if you know if you know something about it, which I really, I'm old school pretty much. I do know some computer stuff, but
you guys want a good laugh. If you've been around for a while, you will get a laugh out of this. Is that you want to know what me and my wife's been doing for the last couple days is working on making a website for our construction business. So it's been we've been working on this for days. You know how far we got?
Married.
We're still married, and we got this far. We bought the domain name, and we just having a hard time figuring out how to build it.
Where we want to host.
Yeah, we got the Wix.com. We want the Wix.
We're shopping too. Like
it's tough. I don't know. He must have got cut off. Hey, cheers to Despicable. Yeah, it's we have no business trying to do what we're doing, but we're go-getters like that, man. And after a long day's work, we're like,
how hard is it? How hard is it anyway?
You got to buy.
I know nothing about web design.
Well, we
gave a template.
Yeah, there's templates. Some of the websites have, you can drag and the pictures and stuff. And it seems like it's going to be something that we need to start on a day that we're off and do it during the day, not right after we're coming home late and
say this
and angry, hungry, and
where you can
everything else we get and haven't had a joint yet. So we gave up pretty quick, but it looks like it's going to be pretty easy, but that's looks.
I'm going to say this.
Once we get our fingers into it, I'm sure we're going to F it up somehow.
Well, she says it's click and drag. Well, I thought a click and drag isn't so click and drag after all. Like I was looking up stuff that just was not coming up. I'm thinking, it's not as
drag and drop wasn't quite dropping, huh?
No, it wasn't dropping. It wasn't dragging, and the stuff that I was picking wasn't what was showing up. And anyhow, I just figured you guys would be like, you can picture us sitting here, me and my wife trying to do this, and I already don't have no hair, or it would already be pulled out.
That's me. You know how I am with tech, though. It really pisses me off. Just
welcome,
normal stuff should work.
Yeah.
Hey, Big A.
You do good, Art, man.
Cheers,
guys. Thank you, but I struggle.
You're hooked
hey,
up.
Big A. What's up, buddy? What is that on your? Is that a roast or something?
That's called a brisket, man.
Oh, okay, brisket. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, before it gets cooked, that's what they look like. Then they come out looking like an asteroid if you do it right.
Yeah, but are they good? Oh, I know. They melt in your mouth. Oh.
If you do it right.
I got to say, Artman recently put pictures of Italian beef on with the recipe, so I saved that recipe. I'm gonna try it.
I ate the
it looked good.
I ate the last of it tonight, and we never waste any leftovers ever. It's delicious.
Nice.
It is.
One time,
make a sandwich out of that.
Oh yeah. The wife made rolls, homemade rolls. It's provolone cheese, Italian beef, toasted rolls, dipping sauce. Pretty good stuff. It's real easy too. That's one of the first things. My brother gave me the recipe, so I'll give him the credit. But it's real easy, guys. You can just throw it together. But it's absolutely delicious. So enjoy.
Yes.
Are you in Tennessee there, Andy?
Oh yeah. Yep. Till the end of the month, man.
Oh man, jeez. I know you're not enjoying the scene.
Yeah, Memphis is kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
oh, damn.
Murder capital USA right there.
For real? Is that the for real?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Atlanta or something.
Nope.
Memphis.
Oh.
You hanging out at the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid?
No.
Oh, I saw that. That's amazing.
What is it?
That used to be a stadium or something, didn't it? They closed a sports stadium in the shape of a pyramid. It's huge. I can't remember how tall it is. Hang on a second.
Bass Pro Shops is a pretty big company. Bass, they've been around for a long time.
Yeah, but they usually have, like in Phoenix, they have a huge building. It's got like a river in it. You can almost go fishing in the damn thing.
Hey, one time I had things called burnt ends.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's off a brisket.
I never had them again though. I keep telling my wife.
What, to get you some burnt ends?
No, I want to make them. I gotta figure out. I think it takes a while. You have to.
Oh, you gotta smoke a brisket first. You gotta take that picture I got. You gotta cook it for like anywhere from 12 to 20 hours. You gotta smoke it low and slow, and then there's called the flat, and then the point. You gotta cut the point out, and then you dice it up into cubes, and then you throw it on the grill, and you hit it hard and fast, and then you got burnt ends.
That's what she said.
Well, yeah, that is what she says. Jace might correct me on some of the procedures there, but
Jace you nailed it on the head. She said that too. Just make sure they're ribbed for pleasure as well.
Oh
I
yeah,
I need one of those digital drum rolls. Yeah, with the snare drum. You guys too much.
It's that silliness that gets me through the rest of the week. For real.
Yeah, you make those burn ends. You do it right. Once she puts that meat in her mouth, she'll never go back.
That's right. Yeah, nobody beats my meat, as I say, except for her.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit rowdy here.
Smart started it. I mean, come on.
Tennessee does it to you, buddy.
Hey,
Yeah, well, no, working 12 hours.
Let's not. Yeah, he's working. Let's not forget about the vegetarians out there. They,
Oh yeah,
the vegetarian girl. She might not like the meat, but she definitely loves the bone. All right, that's it.
Oh, my
I'm stopping, and that's it. That's all.
Oh, you're putting your foot down, are you? You're gonna put your foot down. All right, you degenerates.
Okay.
You and you.
Hey, I'm not guilty.
Smut poker.
It's the smut poker show.
The
Smut poker.
I like it. This is getting worse than caribou, I tell you.
Hey, that's what you can name your website, the Smut Poker website.
Oh God! Yeah, but people would be going on, be all disappointed. All they see is like a bunch of cannabis instead of naked people.
Yeah.
They'll see Mims. They'll be like, "This ain't the cat I was looking for."
Oh.
Before I even get off the show, I'll be getting one of those emails. We've age restricted Humpdazed.
Oh yeah.
It usually
They're
takes
all age restricted. If you're under
one.
age, you shouldn't be here.
It takes about.
I guess I better leave.
No.
The 12-year-old, she's always around, so.
Oh, come on, all these guys are.
The 12-year-old girl
13-year-old.
inside of me. I don't want anybody out there to think that I'm smoking down with a child.
My wife is a child at heart. A lot of times we have to be like that. You got to laugh, right?
Yeah, I need a good laugh today. It was today was a stressful one.
Was it, man? I had a tough one too. I was smoothing ceilings all day. We had this talk. We both knew we was gonna have a rough day today.
Yeah, I just left the job site.
Oh, you just left? Oh, damn.
But now the day's over. You can kick back and relax. Feels good.
My shoulders one gargantuan monkey fist.
Ooh, yeah, I feel it in my back, and I bet you feel it in your back and your shoulders, like trying to put that trowel up to that roof ceiling all day. Ugh, that's rough.
Yep. It's just it's a ceiling. It's just a little bit out of reach too. So I can't put my stilts. If I put my stilts on, I'm eating it, and I can't. I'm too high. If I'm not on stilts, I'm just a little bit too strong. I'm 6'5", so there's a lot of ceilings I can do from the ground. You know.
Yeah, so what do? You have to drag around like a little step stool ladder thingy-majigger?
No, I stretch it. I just stretch. It's dangerous. The best way to get
Oh,
faster in your eyeball is to be directly under your
stretching.
trowel. Yeah. When the
Oh,
proper way, you should have your elbow bent at like a 90 degree with your arm straight up. That's where you want to be. So you
no.
want your head like just a couple inches from the ceiling. But if I have my stilts on, and you can't do a bucket, you got to be able to walk many steps at one time. You know what I mean? Trying large strokes, and it's tough. But hey, it is what it is, right? I just like to complain a little bit, and my wife probably gets tired of hearing it. So I appreciate you guys listening.
Hey, we could always put a saddle on you if you want.
I zone out.
I don't really complain. That's what's going on. You know, I'm not complaining. I'm blessed to be able to have a trade that's in high demand that I can actually feel I get a decent wage for, even if I don't work. If I can't,
you're working. I mean, how many times last year didn't you not work? That's just,
how many times did we sit here and have a conversation? I told you guys I was stressed because of my bills being due, and I might, my money's going down quicker than it's coming in, and that's part of being a new business, But now that we got a little bit of web presence, and we're getting a lot more word of mouth. I'm investing in advertisement with signs and shirts and hats and giving them out to
how's
people.
How's the employee thing going? You got good employees now? Or still hard to get them?
Not really. It's still like a three person operation, and it's not even that all the time. It's what I can do. What I'm doing now is taking on like some of the larger jobs, and I'd like to be able to do them in say a week, but it ends up taking me 2 weeks. But hey, I give them a price, I give them a schedule, and that's what it is, and we come through with it's great, But
yeah,
hey, as long as the quality stays, that's
man.
So, and they look at that in the end. It might take you a little bit longer, but that's worth it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I wish it was like that out here, but no, they're like, oh yeah, let's defy
what's going on with you, XYZ? Tell us what's up.
What's up there?
So this company basically designed a system that can do 26 cartons a minute, and it can handle 24-inch cartons. They're putting 26-inch cartons on it and then bitching because it basically, the way the conveyor works is if it's longer than 24 inches, it has to put space between them. That's just the way it's designed, and they're getting all pissed off. Yes, and they're getting all mad about it. They're like, "You gotta fix this. You gotta make." And it's like, guys, I'll do what I can. And they got the president of the company out. So everybody's just like pulling me 6 different ways, all at the same time. Yeah,
that really sucks.
It is what it is. It's a startup. Startups are usually like that.
Who do you ultimately have to answer to?
To expect the machine to do something it's not even designed to do is really stupid. I'm sorry.
That's a great point.
Yeah, but it is a good point. But that's why I get paid the big bucks, is to try to figure out how to make it do it.
Just put up a shield of happiness, because you got all this negativity coming at you, people angry coming at you. Plus, you're in this place that's got such a bad name attached to it as the murder capital of the U.S. With that, that's got to.
Normally I'd be okay, but this place isn't air conditioned, so it's a big warehouse, and it's like, I don't know, 90 degrees in there, 60, 70, 80% humidity. So by the end of the day, you can't even, you're just like worn down and you can't even think straight. And that's usually when they really get on you. They're like, oh, come on, we got to have this done. We got to get this done by the end of the day. And it's like, guys, I'm doing the best I can. And there's only one in here. So if I lose you, I'm in an elevator.
Living in an elevator.
And there he went. Wow, that was ironic.
Did he say he's in an elevator?
Yeah, he said, if I lose you, I'm in an elevator.
Yeah, Mustang living in an elevator.
It's
Man, I'd say I trade him jobs, but he lost me at the heat. I'm in training for the next 3 weeks, and it's hard to stay awake.
What's training for what?
At my job, I work in taxes.
Taxes.
Really? What do you do? Because my wife works in taxes now.
Well, it's a big company, so they got to split up in divisions. So we do like one part of it. So I work in it's called prior period adjustments. So basically, we fix mistakes that were realized on taxes from like previous quarters or years. Like someone gets their taxes and realizes there's an error, we have to go back and fix it.
Yeah, that's white collar there.
He's the fixer.
Yeah.
You can fix my taxes for me, dude. Get a little bit extra back. You know what I mean? Wink, wink, hint, hint.
I'm the Ray Donovan of taxes.
Damn, dude! I didn't know we had a numbers man in our midst.
Well, I'm not good at math. The computer program is. It does all the math for me.
Man.
That's not true.
It's 63 inches and 2 little lines. That's what we call the per diem process. Yeah, the taxes, man. That's pretty cool. But you have a big. That's my accountant.
That's a lot of responsibility.
The accountant says they get swamped, man, for like on tax season. There's like a big push in tax season. They just pulling their hairs out. I see they got cigarettes everywhere, man. And my accountant he's the epitome of what you would think, and papers everywhere. But then he said it calms down. They only do like I think payrolls and stuff the rest of the year, so they have a busy season with the taxes.
Yeah, year-end's pretty busy for us from January through pretty much April, the filing deadline.
Well, April 15th, Art Ma'am, it was all hands on deck. Nobody was allowed to take any time off.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is our busy season from basically April to the new year.
I remember Andy Dufresne doing all the taxes in that movie for all the prison guards, and then all the other guards from other prisons started coming. He was doing he was getting everybody tax.
He was a banker.
Yeah,
right?
He was the banker.
Shawshank Redemption.
Redemption, yeah. Andy Dufresne, the tax man.
Are we going to do some movie trivia?
We can. Steve Parsons in there. He was on it.
What on Shawshank?
Yep.
Yeah.
He said, I did not know that. Juice.
Oh.
Steve Person played in Shawshank. I didn't think he was that old.
Oh my goodness.
He's got the goth girl coming up. We were talking about the goth girl earlier.
Really?
Yeah, he's got seeds coming out.
He's got fancy packaging too. It's really cool.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I saw that.
See, Person said he was red. He's the guy in prison getting all the stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I've been known to acquire things from time to time.
Oh man, that was a good movie though. I liked it.
Oh, it was an epic movie, man.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh man,
it's 8:30, man. You're ready to relax, huh?
Yeah, take off my saddles.
Yeah,
my steel toes, and get in some shorts. Take a shower. Oh yeah.
I hear that. Steel toes suck too.
Tennessee, that's a red state. Is it hard to get weed there?
I haven't tried. I usually just bring brownies with me, but I'm out.
Oh man.
It sucks.
Well, Yeah, I had the choice to go home this weekend, but I just don't want to get on an airplane, fly for 8 hours, then stay home for a day and turn around, fly back for 8 hours.
Yeah, tedious.
Especially when I'm going home the following weekend. I'm going to be done with this job.
Nice.
Yep.
That'll be a relief.
Yeah, and then it's off to home for 4 days, and then it's off to Oregon for like a month.
That's right.
Oregon. I spent a month
better
there.
Better than Tennessee, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, way better. It's not 6 billion degrees.
You can buy mushrooms at the store.
Really?
Psychedelic.
I think mushrooms are legal.
Yeah, I think it was. Didn't they decriminalize all drugs like up to a certain limit?
I think
Oregon,
they backed off
Portland?
on that. I think they scaled back on that because it was causing a little too much. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty liberal up there.
Hey, Ganja, I heard that's a trail of blood and guts. The Oregon Trail.
That's a bad joke you got there.
That was so bad it hurt.
All right.
Real knee slapper.
Where's my damn weed? I don't have any hats.
Hey, Seed Person remembers you have died of dysentery. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was like an 8-bit computer. It was like blocks.
Yeah.
Like blocks going across the screen.
Oh, I remember that now.
Yeah, the ampersand chasing the star or whatever.
That's gold.
But
Yeah,
man, it was the coolest thing. We'd play it like after school. The school had a computer. We'd just sit there and nerd out on it after school all the time.
You'll be able to smoke down in Oregon, man.
Yeah.
That'll be
Now,
nice.
let me ask you this, XYZ. You're a globetrotter here. You've been in a lot of different states that are cannabis friendly. Is there any states out there that are only cannabis friendly if you have a state license for that state?
Yeah, that would be Mississippi, right south of me. I was looking into it. I was like, oh man, I could go to Mississippi. I know some growers down there. I can go see their store and hit them up. Nope, you need a card.
I think Illinois you can use it in other states, and others can use it in our state. That's the way it should be, honestly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, reciprocity.
Yeah, I thought I heard another.
You're lucky, Art, man. You are lucky to have. I mean, you should have more freedoms as well. We all should, but compared to what's out there, you guys got pretty decent.
Some of it, we don't have any caretaker laws, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of people who can't grow, who are physically unable to grow.
Yeah.
So they should be able to have a caretaker grow for them. But maybe it'll change eventually.
Yeah.
So, and for you guys too. I mean, Pennsylvania, everything I've heard out of there has been pretty positive for the past few months. We'll see if it happens. I mean, it did the same thing in Illinois before we legalized. So,
well, I agree with you. Think of how cheap we can grow our cannabis. Now, that doesn't mean you necessarily have to pass every bit of that on. If you want to make some money for the next round or whatever, to cover your next cost, I see that. But you're still going to be able to supply it at a much cheaper price than anything they're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Through somebody else.
With me, it's 2 people in my press. So.
We can really help out, someone in need.
I mean, they're paying $60 an eighth.
It's a shame we can't.
And you're growing it for what, $1 an eighth? I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. So I mean, there's a lot of room there to meet them and still have money to put into your next grow a little bit, and they get an absolutely fantastic price. And these people really do need it, and a lot of them, you get to talk to them, and then that's what they would like about it. They know you're not using the spray. They know you're not remediating it somehow. It's coming straight from, that's like farm to table, they call it in the food industry,
Well, on the flip side, California is talking about letting small growers sell their cannabis at state-run farmers markets.
That's gold.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would really help. You know how the big megacorps, cannabis megacorps, they want to push everybody else out, especially the craft growers.
Oh yeah,
so this would help them immensely. I think it's great.
I think
hopefully it'll be passed.
Well, in California, I mean, a lot of those mega growers, they put a lot of chemicals in their shit. I was reading about the other day, like their carts, they're doing like tests on all the carts. A lot of them from California have a lot of weird chemicals in them you don't want.
Don't smoke gas station cars.
Irradiation too. So I mean, that was wasn't it Dr. Coco was talking about every major place has irradiation built into their profit margin.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is why I won't smoke nothing that I don't know was grown in somebody's house like yours or Seed Persons or Jace or XYZ. I would smoke any of you guys' bud and feel honored to do so, but I ain't smoking some shit I don't know where it come from. I had people tell me, I got some great dispensary buds. You want to get high? I'm like, no thanks.
I'll pass.
My wife was there. My wife heard it. She was like, I don't want any either. You know, it's just like I felt like a real dick.
Yeah, you feel like, oh, you know.
I felt like a real asshole, but I was like, no, I really
Smart was the smokiest buckhorns.
I was waiting for that. I was about to do that. Damn it, Art, you stole my thunder.
Well, we basically had to lie and say that we were trying to clean up for a urine test.
Yeah.
So we made up an excuse, but still, it just was.
And you know, because the people thought they were trying. In their mind, they were giving us. They were doing good. They know that we used to like weed a lot and all this other stuff. We're like, nah, you know, can't do it right now. All this, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I felt bad, man, but whatever.
It's okay. It's okay, Smart. You shouldn't consume things you don't. But you do it all the time, like when you eat the store food. I mean, I'm sure that half that shit's irradiated too.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that commercial grow I worked at, we had to remediate one time, but that gets logged in the metric system. Well, if they go through that, so that they have to list it. You know, so when they sell it, it's always labeled as remediated.
Really?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's pretty good.
I feel like
if they're ethical.
I think they use ozone to remediate it.
Yeah, you know, Smart and I have smoked a lot of cannabis we bought on the streets, and who knows what we were smoking?
Awesome.
Mold,
bugs,
whatever. Now, at least we know it's bugs from our own house, a hair or two, kitty hair, and
Your
you know
hair.
it's not been sprayed with anything, and I think that's where what the main point is now we put our time in, and now we don't have to. That's the benefit. That you take the risk of being an outlaw, and that's the benefit you reap.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's not Smart's hair, we're good.
You got me by the short curve.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, exactly.
There we went down that rabbit hole again.
There we go.
I couldn't resist.
12-year-old Crispy is going.
Who doesn't like to laugh and be silly?
Oh man. It is funny though, because I will find my wife's hair grown into the bud. Like I'll be, pulling it out of the ground. Here's one. I'll go cutting it up, and I see like buds that are 2 inches away sliding towards me, and I know, oh, there's a hair in this one. So I start pulling it, and they line up like it looks like I'm stringing up popcorn for the Christmas tree. I'm just pulling on it, and all these little things are sliding off. And I'm like, then I always tell her, this is my line. And I think sometimes it pisses her off. I'm like, hey, you want this back? And I hold it up in the air. And she knows that I found one of her hairs in the bud.
I can't help it. When you're look at the picture, like I'm in the center of that because I want to see what those buds look like and smell like. And I come out all sticky and I leave some of my hair behind. It's bad. I shouldn't be in the buds like that. And it's, I'm better at it, the last.
Your hair's actually a little shorter now than it has been in a while too. So that might help out some, but I try not to give her too much. I like to just, get a little dig in here and there when I come.
That's where being bald comes in advantage.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't believe. Well, that's not my hair. That's yours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't really see my butt enough to actually get hairs in it. I don't know.
Jesse, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But in a 2x4, you're not really swimming in it. Now, I've gotten a couple arm hairs. I pulled a couple of them out, but
Yeah.
that happens.
Oh yeah. I see they're talking in the chat about having weight restrictions. You guys got any of that, Art Man?
Nope. I can keep as much as I grow. That's what drives me crazy about some legal states is they'll let you have 10 plants or 8 plants. Then they say half a pound is all you can have in possession.
Yeah, I think there's a
what? You know, a lot of states do that though. But Illinois, I can keep in process whatever I have. So
hey, I'll read you. I got my card. I got my card right here. I'll read you our restrictions. There's 6 of them. So we're allowed to possess up to 3 ounces of marijuana on your person. So that's if you're out and about. You can possess up to 6 mature plants, 6 seedling plants, 1 ounce of concentrate, or you can possess 72 ounces of edible at your house, or 8 ounces of flour at your house.
Half a pound of flour? That's all you get to have? Well,
per person. So like if you have, if my wife's got her card, now I can double that.
Right. Yeah, but that's still stupid because you're going to go
over
every time you harvest.
Well, yeah, 6 plants. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, you have to be a terrible grower, but I mean, that's definitely not knocking it out of the park.
Now, we may not have caregivers, but we do have that. I mean, that's a common sense thing. It makes no sense that you have some kind of restriction on weight when you have 6 or 12 plants or whatever. It's just crazy.
Jace, you're gonna have to give some out. I'm on my way out there right now. No.
I've got a ton of banana kush, man. Come help yourself to it.
Is it seeded? Like did yours herb?
No, not at all. It's good smoke. It's just all I got left. It was my least favorite of the 3 I grew.
Was it the same one we grew for the New Year's Grow Challenge?
No, I was actually growing that before y'all even started. It was just kind of ironic that I was growing that. So I grew 2 plants of that banana kush. I got about 8 ounces each. So I got right at a pound of banana kush out of that grow from the 2 plants. And that was like, I don't know, that's just how it goes. It seems like the weed you like the least is like the one you grow the most of, and the one you like the most of is the one you grow the least of.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate how that happens.
Hey, man. Tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. All right, you guys saw it. Was everybody else singing that in their head or what?
No.
Not yet, no. Need a couple more verses.
Thanks, buddy.
It's in the chat. The person's name's Tambourines and Elephants.
You know what I think about? I want to give my opinion and my 2 cents about the plant count and weight.
Okay.
Who's coming in to check on all these things? I think that wouldn't even make a difference here when it becomes legal. Smart and I aren't going to do anything different, and there won't be a weight or a plant count. We'll just be able to hide better because hopefully more of our neighbors will be, growing, and we'll be smelling their grows. But we're going to run with the filters and grow as many as it takes, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about it at all.
Yeah, I don't stay within my legality, but I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to be.
I stay within that plant count limit, so I always grow 6 at most. That way it looks like. I mean, but honestly, that's all I need. But yeah, I definitely go over on flour. I mean, I had, I think like 2.5 pounds that last time. Well, I had some leftover too from the previous harvest, so I was like triple the limit. But like 8 ounces. If you're growing 6 plants, that's only 3/4 of an ounce per plant.
Yeah, that's a light harvest right there.
Yeah.
Now those limits are different for like caregivers in the states that allow people to grow for other people, because you could grow for yourself and then have 3 patients that you got to take care of. So what are the limits there? Anybody know in your state if you got limits if you're a caregiver state?
1 1/4.
I don't know. I haven't researched that.
Michigan is great. They have a great caretaker program too. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they have.
We have caretaker programs here too. I'm not exactly sure how they work. I think it's not real easy to get that. I think you got to jump through some hoops.
Well, wasn't Oklahoma? Weren't they just giving out fucking like licenses there for a while, where you like just
Wild West.
500? No, it was
Not
like
anymore.
$2,000 to get a license.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No,
for like
they're not.
for a commercial grower. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did for when they first came out, but then they put a moratorium on it. That's when I started working at that grow. Like we barely got in on it, and it was a 2-year, and I think they extended that to 4 years. So there was like a 4-year time period there that you couldn't get a new license. And now I think they're making it to where you can't transfer license, because you used to be able to buy somebody else's license and they would sell them. They were expensive too. They were like $10,000 for a license. Or you have to have you have to have a license for growing and for processing, and I think for a dispensary. So there's 3 sets of licenses you have to have.
Can I play devil's advocate and say, fuck 5-0? I make my own rules, right? I'm growing it.
Fuck police, huh?
That's it, man. I've been risking a felony since pretty much me and my wife got together, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to tailor my plant count or anything that I want to do, and no one's coming in my house without a warrant, and that's about the end of it. But other than that, I don't have parties. Nobody comes and goes with anything. I live a very quiet life, so we're covered, but I'm not dealing with any of that shit. I just don't want to risk a felony anymore, because Artman's right. It changes you. It gives me anxiety and shit. Like when we're in full bloom and we're like really trying to mitigate smell and shit, that shit worries me, and I got a lot to lose, a business, a home, all different, a whole bunch of shit. Your whole life is turned upside down by that. That's manufacturing and delivering in Pennsylvania. But I'm willing to risk it. I don't have kids. My wife and I have an understanding. We have jars of cash buried where no one really knows about them. So that's bail money, and we're prepared. And I'm always going to grow it. But I want to be a good, respectable citizen who pays his taxes and grows cannabis. I don't want to be the dude that I have to be right now,
You don't want to be shady?
No, man. I don't want to have to be turned into something that I'm not, a fucking felon. Because that's not my mind thought. Is my agricultural freedoms are being shit all over. And I didn't know it was so wrong for so long until I became aware of it by hanging out in this community and becoming a grower. And it hasn't changed in this 7 or 8 years that we've been doing this. And it's not going to change in our favor anytime soon, and we're not going to stop. But if you have kids, or like Artman said, the amount of relief, like he's got relief.
That's priceless.
It's priceless, man, and that is, to have all
we're
your.
Getting a little old. We're getting a little old to be thrown in the back of a police car.
Yeah, man. Everything you worked your whole life for is on the line just to grow a plant. That's not right, dude. And you shouldn't have to live with that stress.
It does suck. I grew when I was a teenager, but then I got busted. And it's like, no, not going to do that.
Dude, I live a militant lifestyle in my personal life as far as how people come and go, and very few do, and what I do, how I interact with people. Nobody ever has any reason to like come to my door or act shady or do anything. And I don't want to be that dude. I want to be able to open my door up, hang out on the porch, talk to people that come by and shit. You know what I mean? Like walking their dog and stuff. But that's just not who I am. And I become trained to be who I am because of the laws. And you guys get that. We grew up with really bad laws. And even lately, they're a lot more lax. But let's not kid ourselves. If a dude can put a star on his chest and bust you, you're going down. Everybody says, "Oh, they don't care about it no more. They don't care about it anymore." Bullshit. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. It's decriminalized in Pittsburgh. I'm like, dude, don't get a false sense of security just because you smell it everywhere you go and shit. People are getting popped every day for that around here. It ain't no joke. If you got something to lose, it ain't a game.
Yeah, it'll change. It'll change soon because they are working towards it. They're watching everybody around them cash in, I mean, what was it? Ohio, they sold like, I don't know, what was it, $21 million, or I can't remember what it was. I should look it up. It was a staggering amount in 12 days. It was just amazing. So,
and here's the other thing: I'm a 2-time loser in this state with a drug charge.
Oh,
so
that's bad. Third time you're.
I'm gonna be up shit creek without a paddle. You guys will be writing through Last Prisoner Project.
Yeah, no, let's not go there, man. Please, no.
It's the truth. I mean, that's what we live on.
But you're right, Art Man, because it's cash. We're losing revenue, and that is what's going to get their attention, because that's what they're all about.
It's money.
That's why Illinois passed it. If it wasn't for the money aspect, we would have never had it, really. Or we may have, but it made it a lot more attractive.
Makes you wonder how they haven't seen it already.
Money.
It's coming. It's coming.
Money for madness.
Ohio's right next to you, man. They're gonna catch on. What else? What other states are legal around you? New York isn't, is it?
West Virginia.
Yes, New York is.
New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, Ohio.
Oh shit! You're surrounded. Yeah, it'll be legal sooner than you think.
West Virginia's the only one that is.
It's the money.
Well, West Virginia. I'm sorry, people from West Virginia, but that place. Well, it's not as bad as where I'm at now, so I'm just gonna shut my pie hole.
Well, they said that Pennsylvania would be like. Hold on, Art Man. Let me get you. We would be like the 5th biggest market. If they were to be based on the 2 big cities and all the population and everything that like in the country, we could be that. So I don't know what they're waiting for. Let's get that money rolling.
Yeah. Great.
Wu-Tang taught us that way long time ago. Cash rules everything around me.
That old dirty bastard.
Yeah.
So Jace, how's your cure going? I mean your dry. How's that tent working?
So far, so good. Temp humidity's holding pretty tight. Fluctuates a little bit, nothing crazy. It's going nice and slow. They still feel good in there. When did I chop that? That was kind of a pain in the ass because I did that Monday. So I didn't get home. Yeah, I didn't get home till like 5, and lights are out at 6 in my tent. So I had an hour to chop it down, and then I had to also resituate my other plants in there. And they're on yo-yo, so I had to move those around. I had to lower my light down, because I had to reduce the dimmer on it so it wouldn't trip my breaker. So it's kind of half-assed in there. It probably looks like ass, but I'm going to refix it on the weekend. But yeah, the tent's holding good. Got the AC running in here. Everything's so far so good.
Not popping your breaker, are you?
No, I haven't tripped the breaker. Knocking on wood here, so hopefully it'll hold out on me. That'll suck if it happens, because it'll happen when I'm at work and there's nothing I can do about it unless my wife's here and she can reset it.
Yeah, that's usually the way that shit works. I mean, fuck. I put my shit in the dry tank. I come back a month later and fucking the bottom is full of water, and I'm glad it didn't leak out. Thank God.
Floor drain for the win.
I'm jealous, Art. I'm jealous. I hate that I don't have that.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, Art's got the nice setup for sure.
Well, yeah, mine's got a lot of water and pumps, and it's not Coca or anything like that,
Oh, Smut's got it, dude. Smut's on it.
Kramer was agreeing with you, man.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Smut's on it tonight.
They said Hartman's got the setup. Look, he's like, yep. Yeah, I agree. Yep. That's great.
Well, if I can't grow now, it's all on me. So.
No, you got the sweet setup, man. You really do. That's a fast growing system, and you got all your environmental controls. You have plenty of space. You have the lighting is correct. Your CO2's on point. Your temperature of your res and all that, like everything down the line, the check marks. No matter how fine you get, Artman's got it covered.
Yeah.
And just go to his Instagram to see how well and how good he's doing with the golden slurking.
Oh yeah. You showed me a picture of that last night, Art. Looking good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Puffy D did a good job on that stuff. I give him credit.
Fat bud.
It is huge colas.
Yeah, well,
works.
Jay's got some big old colas too, man. Jesus.
He has a tent full of them drying, man. You missed it earlier. He took us for a little tour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're
Jack Harrer. Yeah, Jack Harrer.
Man, I got to admit, I'm a little concerned about that Blue Dream because how big those buds are, and I'm running an air conditioner here now, so the VPD is getting pretty low overnight.
Ooh.
It's fine during the day because the lights come back on, but overnight it gets pretty low.
They'll be fine. They're not drinking during the night. They're not transpiring that much. I mean, they do a little bit, but not much. You should be okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm not too worried about, and I got some pretty good air moving in there, but
It's
it is what it is.
You
much
took a
better
lot
than
of these off already too. That'll help you slow down transpiration.
yeah. It's not as bad as it being too humid or too hot. I mean, those are the two things you really don't want when you're at that part of the grow.
I don't even pay attention to VPD. What's 1.06?
That's
good?
low. That's lowish. I mean, where you're at in your grow, while your lights on or off?
They're off. It's temperature 73, humidity 62.
Yeah, it's a little low. I'd want them a little bit higher, but I don't know what your.
I don't even pay attention to it really. I just don't even. As long as I can
So
try to control the temperature and humidity. That's all.
That's what my overnight VPD is. It's like around 1, but during the day it's like 1.4, which is about perfect for what I want.
Yeah, that's a good
I'll
VPD.
check it tomorrow.
Especially in late flower.
Yeah, you want them sucking that water down. So, yeah, me and Smot are both jealous that you guys are all harvesting, and we're just sitting there watching you guys harvest. We're like, damn it!
Yeah, my day's coming, man, for sure. But you're right. It's nice to be able to sit and talk about it, see it with these guys' plants, and be involved.
It's nice to take a little break here and there, but yeah,
it's over. It's been way over. I'm like you. I'm on that little 2-3 weeks we used to have in between grow challenges and stuff, But this has been a long, drawn out process, longer than I thought.
Well, we put it off too for like an extra year. These things that we got down for should have happened last year.
Yeah, should
have. We kicked it down the road, man, as long as we could, but now we're on the other side of it. So
now we got a brand new.
We'll be up and running, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so where y'all at? You should be like right around the corner. Right? You got the tent, you got the room set up and everything.
We're ready. I was telling those guys, all I need to do is put up the light. I bought a light that I don't like at all, so I'm gonna put the old one back up. So I had to take the other one down. So it's still sitting in there. The wires are hanging out. I got to go in there and put the light up, and I got to put curtains up, and then I got to drag my stuff in there and start setting it all up. Drag the tent in there. But I have it all out. It's laid out. I have some ideas. I'm going to get it up in the air, but the seeds are going to get dropped, which is going to really light a fire under my ass because they're going to be coming on quick,
Yeah, that's usually how I'm like, oh, I can wait another week. But once you drop them seeds, man, it does light a fire under your ass like nothing else.
Did we not tell you the freezing duck? I think Kitty got it, man. But it was about half. It was about half broke off, man. My wife has it as a pressing, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I put it in my book. This happened last week, and we left in the morning, and she didn't want to come in. I think she was mad. We left her out all day, and when we come home.
Here's my theory. Kitty likes to go out. She walks on the edge of the garden wood. I don't know why. It's like a tightrope for her. It's a 2x4 on edge. But she jumps up on there. As soon as she hits the yard, she walks around the garden thing. But anyhow, she likes to stop and chew on blades of grass. And so what I did was I cleared away all the grass that was growing, all the little you know how shit goes in an open bed like that. I cleared it all out. So there was one plant sticking up nice and proud. And if we do that indoors, Kitty's getting down to Funky Town,
But
so I think
she didn't mess with this plant for all this time.
And I don't even know if it was her really, but it was just,
it was eaten, and nothing else in the garden has been messed with. and there's no other animals. There's like no bunnies that I can see coming up, and like they would eat cucumbers and stuff that we have growing right there. Maybe not the peppers or the tomatoes, but I don't see a rabbit coming up in the garden.
No,
It was the cat.
I don't know. I'm assuming it was her, but either way, man, she has.
So you took out your grass buffer zone, did you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
He was trying to do a good thing by weeding the garden, and we weren't even.
You gotta leave a couple clumps on the outside, I guess, for the cats.
Yeah, the wild grass was starting to take over. It was outgrowing the.
Note to self.
Yes.
My cat is
put a blocker up for Kitty, you know. That's what I was thinking afterwards. I should have put a blocker up, but she likes to go in there and just get in between the pepper plants and everything and just lay down right on the soil. All the sun's blocked out 100%, and she does that all the time. So she's in there. Kitty's footprints are all through there. I'll say this: she doesn't go to the bathroom in the garden ever. I've heard other people say that's what their cats do. Ours does not. She has a certain spot she'll go in the yard all the time. She loves it there.
She's like pissed off. I think Crispy had it right. She's mad you left her out.
And let me explain why, because this is crazy. Okay, so Smot had weeded the garden, and it had been 2 days, and then we left in the morning. She wouldn't come in, and we had to leave her for, I don't know, 7 hours. And she was pretty mad. And when we let her in, she was like giving us the business, you know. Crying, you know.
I'm like, what's all those different octaves about?
So, you know, the next day is when I found out when I went to do the garden and water it in the morning. And I think that's what happened. She was mad that we left her all day because she had left that alone for 2 days after Smot had gone out and weeded the garden. And he did such a great job, too. And I didn't think that was going to bite us in the ass like that.
We got a pressing
off the cat.
I starting to get some, yeah. Our peppers got. I got to say this real quick. I know we're running out of time. We got to get over to Uncle Rick. Actually, Artman's probably got to go first. We'll let him get out of here because he's going over to Uncle Rick's here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be on the show, but he's just gonna. So.
I thought you were going on.
I'm going to be the sponsor, but I don't think I'm on.
I grew the biggest pepper ever, man. I'm so proud of it. It's called this Keystone Giants. Man, they got huge. I'm not shitting you guys. This is like a foot long, and it's massive, like a beer stein. It's huge. I bet you could pack a whole.
Oh,
all right, man. I'm gonna take a picture of it, dude. Wait till you see it. I'm gonna have something sitting beside it.
Yeah,
man.
We'll have to get a tape measure.
It's the biggest pepper I ever grew, man. And I was holding on to him like, wow, the top of it's like. I was thinking, this is cool, man. It's like a big horn. I'm gonna show it to you guys, but yeah, some of the other ones didn't do so good, but that one there, they got massive. So check it. I'll have to check. You guys have to check it out on our Instagram. But we're down to the last 2 minutes. Everybody wants to go to Uncle Rick's, and we can start with actually first in line's Jace.
All right, yeah. Thanks, Smart Crispy. Fun hanging out with you guys on the panel. Smart, looking forward to seeing that level 5 drywall finish in that room that you just did.
Oh,
and, yeah. And be back on Sunday showing some more plants. Looking forward to smoking on that jack once it gets ready. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on and showing us your harvest, man. Up next is XYZ, relaxing at home finally, or relaxing at the room finally.
Yeah, the room. Hey, Smart, you better lock up that pepper. You might see me running off from your garden. No, I'm kidding.
We already had stuff. We had stuffed peppers once, man, and this one's going to make for a great stuffed pepper.
Thanks, panel, for showing up, and thanks, chat, for sharing the time with us, and thanks, Smart and Crispy, for hosting. Have a good rest of your week.
Thanks, XYZ. Artman's up, the poker aficionado himself. Hold on to the wallet.
I told him, I dealt one-handed and cut and dealt one-handed. So, anyway, but Artman 2Ns 420 _ at Instagram. and I will be giving away seeds, or they'll be giving away some of my seeds later tonight on Let's Be Buds. And if you don't get them there, you stop by this Sunday here, or on Sundays. So,
yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you, Art Man, and the YouTube channel that never deals from the bottom of the deck, Smart Poker YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time. And thanks to the chat for always interjecting great stuff, and have fun at Uncle Rick's. We'll see you guys around.
Girl love.
Love.